Welcome back to another episode of Look What Just Found. Today is episode 94. And our topic for today's coin roll hunt, come on, Jess, be neater than that, is going to be stuff. Stuff is very interesting because we don't need stuff. All we need is Christ. But 99.99% of, and everyone watching this video, collects stuff. Everyone. Because you have a phone, you collect stuff. You're going to get a new phone, you collect stuff. You have a car, you collect stuff. If you have more than one pair of shoes, you collect stuff. I don't have the sign in front of me, the quote in front of me. You know what? I'm not even gonna. I can't misquote Christ, because that's, to me, that's probably not probably. I'm pretty sure that's as close to a sin as you can get without breaking a commandment. Jesus, take only sandals and there's a robe. It's not a robe and robe clothes. Let me see. Okay, Matt. Is it Matthew? Okay, I'm just gonna click on it. Looks like it's Matthew. Do not carry gold. That's ministry of the 12. Oh my, it's so difficult just just to find a quote online. I mean, that's how the and the funny thing is, if you know the Bible, you probably know exactly the Mark, nothing except a staff only. Be shod with sandals. Explain why has been above. We're not none of reserved for the comforts. Maybe if I take that, and I Google search that Bible Hub. You see what it is? It's the same thing. Practice modern English. Neither two coats. I just wish it would say who said it, because I don't want to read the commentary, and it's incorrect. All right, I'm gonna read the commentary. I guess I'll click one more. It's just, and I'm not gonna redo this either, because this is really what it takes. You know, unless you have the Bible in front of you and you're very versed in the Bible, and you have, the little marks in the Bible, in the New Testament, to find where the quotes are. So I'm going to read what it says here. Neither two coats. Commonly the poor. Again, I don't think this is it. Neither two coats, neither shoes, nor yet staves. The apparent contradiction. Yeah, this is with commentary. I really didn't want to read it with commentary. Okay, is this it? Mark says in recording that this court, but be shod with sandals. Between him and Matthew, there is an apparent contradiction. This is a commentary, but there is really no difference. According to Matthew, Jesus does not forbid their wearing the sandals, which they probably had on, but only forbids their supplying themselves with more, or with superfluous ones. Instead of making provisions for their feet when their present shoes were worn out, they were to trust to providence to be supplied and go as they were provident. And I'm assuming that means charity and goodwill. I mean, I could be wrong, but when I met I have an incredible story one day. Maybe I'll tell about a missionary. He was a missionary, and he wasn't really a missionary. He was guess he was more like a traveling evangelist. And I met him, and he taught me a lot. You know, we spent some time together, and he helped he helped me understand, translate, you know, for my brain at that time, which was super resistant, or to the teachings of Christ. So he helped explain things to me. Like, I had a lot of questions, and there was someone there to answer them to me. And that was like, I went to Catholic school for 12 years, and I never got interested in Christ. But then as I got older, I did. And I prayed. I don't even know if I guess it's a kind of prayer. I didn't know how to pray. I guess it was a kind of prayer. I just was speaking to the Lord, and I asked for guidance in my own way at that time, not knowing how to pray. And I met this person, and he explained a lot of things to me. Like, I had a lot of questions. I was like, "Oh, how do you know we're not in a computer program?" I asked him stuff like that, like off the wall stuff. And it doesn't mean we're not in a computer program, but he had responses for me that were satisfactory to my brain. For example, when I said, "How do you know we don't live in a computer program?" And he said, "Well, who created that?" And I said, "Well, maybe someone created that computer program, and they're in a computer program." Like, there's that movie. You ever seen the movie 13th Floor? It's an old flick. It's almost like the Matrix, but it's the original Matrix with the guy from with the real deep voice. You know, the black guy with the real deep voice, and that he did. He was in that. I think he was the main character. I think he was, or he was one of the police officers, detectives. Anyway, and I said, I don't want to spoil it. Well, I guess I am going to spoil it a little bit. And they said, "Well, who made that?" And the guy who I'm talking about, the evangelist, said, "Well, who made that computer program?" I said, "Well, maybe they're in a computer program too." He said, "Well, who made that one?" I said, "I don't know. It could go on for a long, long time, maybe millions and millions and billions of years." And he said, "Yeah, but there had to be the first." He said, "But there had to be the first, the creator, and that's God." Blew me away, man. Blew me away. Blew me away. I never forgot. I never will. Okay. And I got the chance to share that with you, and that's going to be our intro. I'm going to move on to the coins before I get all wrapped up in this. Okay. Thank you, and stuff. I'll continue this as we go on. Okay. So, Jesus said, okay, so I'm going to keep reading this while I put the pennies on the table, okay? I'm trying to get, it gets me a little gets me a little emotional, I have to admit. And I don't tend to be a very I don't want to say I don't tend to be an emotional person, because that's not true, but for some reason this subject does it more than others. I haven't done a deep dive into that, and probably not that important either. So Jesus said, "Mark, the sandals, what I say, supplying themselves. Probably we're up to providence. Instead of Jesus does not forbid wearing the sandals, which they probably had on, but only forbids their supplying themselves with more or with superfluous ones, instead of making provision for their feet. When their present shoes were worn out, they were to trust to to providence to be supplies and go as they were. So by the way, this person, this evangelist I'm talking about, he was barefoot when I met him. And he traveled the country only with his robe and a Bible and a toothbrush. He did have a toothbrush with him, with his Bible, and I think maybe I think he also had a rosary. I wish I took pictures with him. But I'm telling you, that's how. Whew, anyway, so I guess that's not important. Just would have been nice. I do have a picture with him. What am I saying? I do. I have one. I do have one beautiful, beautiful picture with him. Oh, one day I'll share it. I'm sure this topic will come up again. I do have one picture with him and my wife. I forgot about that. OMG. I know she has it. She's a super duper. I have to print it out and put it on my wall. Oh my god. I have to do more things. So I'll keep going. All right, so we got some stragglers here on the top. I'm gonna pull those off. They distracted me. How about you? You guys gonna stay there? Okay, and you? Yeah. Okay, so we got these guys here. So I can't read and do the pennies at the same time. So we got that all set up. Let me just finish this. Um, Providence, be supplied, because it were the meaning of the two. It's funny they use the same word, evangelist. Yet the meaning of the two evangelists may be thus expressed: do not produce anything more for your journey than you have on. Go as you are, shod with sandals, making without. Um, do not produce more for your journey. No, it has nothing to do with your journey. Christ believed that um, all you needed was His love and to love each other, and that was it. Period. That's it. So it had nothing to do with what for your journey or this or that. It was just whatever you need is love from Him and love for each other. That's it. Um, because as He said, right when and this is another saying. I'm gonna look this one up too because again, I'm not gonna misquote. This one I think should come up. Jesus uh, belongs to Caesar. Give to Caesar. And this is a quote I want to put on a shirt or something. I'm not going to click the Bible Hub anymore. Bible reference. Um, wow, they really like want you to buy something, huh? How about this? Matthew 22:21. Mean. I just want to read the thing. Challenges, answers, non-question. Again. Oh wow, this. I can't believe you can't just see the Bible someplace. Bible Gateway. And they said unto him, Caesar's. Then said he unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God. Oh, okay, so they're just showing the different. But that's basically, they say unto him Caesar. Then saith he unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's. And I wish they showed what came before that. Jesus responded by asking, whose face? Ah, this is it here. Let's see if this is it. And I know I'm going too long here. Maybe I won't do the whole. Matthew 22, we read the group of Pharisees confronted Jesus and asked for a yes or no on whether it was lawful to pay taxes to Caesar, the Roman emperor. Jesus responded by asking whose face was engraved on the coins used to pay the taxes. When they answered it was Caesar's face, Jesus replied with the now famous verse, then render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. So, that's how Christ felt about stuff, right? You know what I mean? He did not earthly stuff was not important to him, and he wanted to communicate that to us. And that's one of my favorite um, quotes. For lack of, I don't have the correct terminology. That's one of my favorite quotes. Oh, what a beauty! What a beauty! Now back to let me put up the penny thing here. Okay. Now back to what I started. I like them when they have all of this, the bubbling or blistering on the surface like that. I've seen them with a little bit more. I'll hold on to that. Why not? Maybe it'll make a good video. This is definitely an AU. We have an AU copper. So stuff, right? You know, it's if you believe it, if you're a Christ believer, and that becomes the I'm actually just going to shut this off. I really have to get the new light for the fluorescent light, because it keeps flickering and then it distracts me more. I should say, right? So 2000 2 a.m. So it's a conundrum, it really is. It's one of those, for me, it's a conundrum. It's one of those things in life that will probably always I don't know about struggle with, because I'll be honest with you, I dedicate my life to doing my best to live as Christ would have me. And it's another beauty, another AU. We haven't even gotten a brown penny yet. And I do my best to keep a relationship with him. And I believe he, keeps me on track. So when it comes to things, wow, this is unbelievable. When it comes to things of the earth, even I try to keep an open mind, a balanced perspective, and not really make it that important to my well-being. That's what I do. That is how I approach stuff. Now, the crazy thing is, I have a lot of stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna open up my safe or anything like that for you. You know what I mean? I don't do that for anybody, but I'm gonna say I have a lot of stuff, and with inflation, right, which is a politically concocted politically concocted calculation, for lack of a better word. I'll think of a better word as we go on. A politically concocted formula. That's the word I was looking for. Formula. A politically concocted formula to do in, wow, the average person. Okay? All right. So there's 92 at a close AM. Yeah, that's wide. You can see it a mile away. So The funny thing is, right? I mean, if tomorrow we all said, you know what, Shh, we're gonna go whatever, we're just gonna give everything up. We're gonna leave our homes, go wandering. 96, 96, 96. Isn't this the one? Is it 96? Aren't you looking for I forgot. Hold on. Is it the 96 oh, look at that. We got a wheat, the next one. Oh, wow. So these aren't searched. I forgot if the 96 is close or wide. 1990, because it doesn't show it on the thing. 96, because if it's close, this looks like a close. That's why I ask. I should write it down. I'm gonna put it on the little piece of paper. I know I'm going like way too much into things today, so maybe I'll just do 2. But whatever. I don't know. This is what I do here. I hope I hope not. I'm not certain they appreciate it. Of course, it would be nice to be appreciated. But well, I guess if you're here now after 21 minutes, and you must be appreciated. It has to be 1996 penny. Close or wide AM variety. Let me see what it says. The 1996 penny is worth. I think it's the wide. It has to be I'm saying. I know we didn't. Yeah, it's the wide AM. Oh no, they show both in this video. Yeah. 1993, all business strikes and proofs have a close AM. 1994, 2008, all business strikes have a close AM. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, so I was right. So it needs to be a wide AM to be worth money. All right. So goodbye. And we got a wheat cent. I knew these were not searched. I'm telling you, I knew these were not. I find 42D. Let me put that thing back up. Make sure we don't miss a variety. No. And no. It's the even the key varieties are double dyed. So it doesn't even matter. It doesn't have to be a key variety. If you find a double dyed wheat cent, it's worth money. Look at this. Has some of this person's junk on it. But we got a wheat cent. Yay! I think I don't know if that's the first wheat cent we got from this guy, because this is the person who's got the he puts the little V's. I think it's probably I'm thinking now it's a check. So I don't know. I don't know what he looked for. He looked for something, I guess. 1990. I'm gonna weigh this one. Some of them look. You gotta weigh them because if you get a penny out of tolerance, it's worth more money. Well, it's worth more than a penny, I should say. 2.5. It's not out of tolerance. This is another one. I'll put that with the fines. It's it's borderline. 65. What a beauty. So I'm getting somewhere. But we got plenty of time, so just grab a cup. Speaking of grabbing a cup of coffee, hello. So back to stuff. And inflation being a politically concocted equation formula. And it's concocted, right? Because now the easy answer would be it's concocted to keep the rich rich and the poor poor, right? That's an oversimplified, though more or less true, in my opinion, statement, right? Inflation. And I don't even know if outside, out in the business world. I'm saying in the business world, I don't know if a truer statement was ever made, right? I mean, like, put this on a T-shirt. Give me 1% royalties, okay? Inflation is a politically concocted formula to keep poor people poor and rich people rich. I'm gonna write that down. Man, that is good. We can call that. Look what just found original in inflation. I gotta write this down before I forget it. Is a concocted formula or equation to keep poor people poor and rich people rich. Bing. We could even take out. What do you want to take out? Do you want to take out formula or equation? I like formula better. Is a concocted formula. Yeah, I like. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. 1, 2 is 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's my lucky number. 13 is my lucky number. The definition of inflation is a concocted formula to keep poor people poor and rich people rich. Boom. 13 words. My lucky number. So, wow, I'm gonna weigh this one too. So, of course, I'm not going to, continue to one. It said 113, 313. That would have been pretty cool. Anyway, about, of course, Christ being the most important, and there's no way I would ever minimize that. But again, outside of that, right, which is the the conflict, right, between that and the life most of us live here in the United States and abroad around the world. Was that 97? So 97 is the double ear. So 99. All right. And guess what I didn't do? I didn't put my finger. Look at that. I got so wrapped up. I didn't put my gloves on. That's all right. You think they're gonna become worth less than a penny? I do it just out of habit now. Maybe it's a good habit. Who knows? Whatever. I don't care. It's not that important. 13. Look, it's coming. Look, you see the 13s? They're popping up everywhere. The 13s. So that's what inflation is, right? Okay. Oh man, these are my favorite. These are my favorite. Oh, hold on, some of those two. I'm gonna weigh it. It feels so heavy, and it's lighter. It's 303. Inflate. I'm gonna put that back up again. That is got to be one of the most awesome definitions I've ever heard. Inflation is a concocted formula to keep poor people poor and rich people rich. Okay. So why is that the case? I mean, I tell this story. It's one of my favorite stories. And if you watch all my videos, then you've heard it before. If you don't, then you've never heard it. I bought a 1998. I bought a Shaquille O'Neal card in 2000 and whatever 10, 11. For $5. I'm gonna keep that too. That's just a beauty. I mean, I'm not gonna keep it, but I'll make a short video on it. And I paid $5 for the $6 shipped. There was no tax or nothing back then on anything on eBay. In case you didn't know, tax didn't start on eBay till like I don't know what it was, like 10 years ago. But before that, there was no tax in eBay because it was considered like an online yard sale. You know what I mean? How are you going to pay tax on sharing things with? This one has the crimp roll of death on it. you know, which of course makes sense. And I bought it for $5, and 6 months later, I sold it for $60. Right? I watched this. I used to watch auctions like a maniac back then, and you know, I was able to get lucky a bunch of times. You know, I would watch whatever, you know, thousands and thousands of items, and then I would put a minimum bid on it, and every once in a while I would get lucky, right? So everything was so cheap back in 2010. So I bought it for $5, $6, and 6 months later I sold it for $60. And I remember jumping for joy, clicking my heels, telling my wife how smart I was. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I made $50, which back then that was like, you had to, you know, it was like a day's work, right? You made about after taxes, you made about 300. I made about $300 a week, $400 a week. So $50, $60 was like a day's work almost. I was thrilled. So that's 2011. Let's call it. Fast forward, I don't know, 12 years, 11 years, and the same. Not, I don't know if it was the same exact one because they only made. I think they made like 60 something of them. It's called a serial numbered card. That means it's true. And wow, what is going on? That's just dirt. Pigo? No, there's other things going on here too. 2004. I'm not keeping that. It's just so dirty. It's like crumbling on my table. And as I'm looking, I'm looking for some reason. I just saw it on eBay, the same one, and I was like, and it sold for like $2,200, which I sold it for 10x in 6 months, but in 11 years or 12 years, it sold for um, 10x would have been 600 from 60, 20x would have been 1200, 30 something x. And that's inflation, right? I mean, there's other variables because it's Shaquille O'Neal, he retired, Hall of Fame, and all that. But still, even that's, well, look at that. That's a very good example of zinc rot. Hold on to this. I'm going to do a video. That's a great example of zinc rot. Beautiful. 2000. So if I could have picked up, and now they went down. That's how discretionary items go. Discretionary items will go up and down more than commodities because you can't eat a discretionary item, but you can eat a commodity. So now I think they're like 14 or 1500s. They did go down a little bit or whatever. But if I would have bought in 2011 at, I don't know, let's find a middle ground, $30. I didn't, forget about $6 and forget about $60. Let's say I would have bought 100 of them, right? Because I had thousands and thousands and thousands of Shaquille O'Neal cards. Actually, I had hundreds of thousands. But for argument's sake, let's say 100, right, for $30. 10, which would have been $3,000. You know, you want to call it 5,000. You know, in case some of them were more, let's call it 5,000. Similar cards. They are called essential credentials, right? If you want to look up, 2000, I think they made them. They made them from several years. But the earlier one, not the retro ones, the original ones from 2000. They made retros in like 2015, 16, or something like that. But the original ones, which is, you know, again, that was during the time when Shaq and Kobe won, you know, titles, 2001, 2, and 3, I think it was. And that's when they were making these essential credentials. So let's say I would have, for $100, let's say I would have bought, excuse me, for $5,000, let's say I could have squirreled away 100 of them. And today they're worth $1,500. 1,500, 10 of them is 15,000. You're talking about $150,000, right? For let's call it a $5,000 investment. That's pretty good. You know what I mean? That's pretty good. And not for nothing, it wouldn't take a genius to do that, because it was a very popular card. He was a very popular person, and you know, like right now, um, I collect LeBron's. I collect LeBron's. I collect some Durant's. Like I picked up a Durant rookie. Durant went down at one point for some reason a few months ago, or maybe it was the summertime I'm thinking of. His cards went down because I don't know, man. There was just like this cloud over his head. Like people were treating him like he stunk. You know what I mean? And I was like, "Yeah, that's Kevin Durant." You know what I mean? Like he was just getting bad publicity, and people were treating him like he stunk. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, right. So you're talking about Kevin Durant, man. Don't tell me this guy stinks. And see, I put the see, those are the AUs, those are the fines, and these are all the other coppers, right? So if you want to know what I'm doing with the coppers, this is what I'm doing off the side to the camera. Just so you know. All right, let me keep it over here. And I saw that his rookie cards were selling like less than I remembered from like whatever the year before, right? So I'm pretty familiar with his cards, especially his rookie cards. 82 copper large date Philadelphia. I'm not going to even collect those anymore, the 82, unless they're like super mint condition. It's another AU. The 82s now, the only one I'll hold on to are the small dates. If they're mint condition, and obviously we're looking for the small date Denver copper. So I saw that, and of course, you know, a graded card, especially the older ones, are the most desirable because um, you don't have to worry about the condition, right? Someone already is putting basically in writing in the label the condition that they believe the card is in, that people trust their opinion, right? It's a nice toner, huh? 2005. So I said, oh, let me check out his cards. Maybe I'll pick one up, you know. And I was like, I'm going to pick up, you know, the nicest one I can afford, you know. So he has several. 72. That's a beauty. I put that with the AUs. So there were several. Kevin Durant has several rookie cards that are iconic, right, to him. And Let me just do this real quick. It's okay. That are iconic to him, and which basically every player does, but we're talking about Kevin Durant right now. And I know what they are. One of them is called Artifacts. And I think that's the one we're talking about right now. It's called Artifacts. And then, of course, he has some draft picks. And the most iconic ones are serial numbered. Oh, the most valuable ones are serial numbered, right? Because they're so we're on the third row now because they are more limited, right? In production, right? If there's only 100 or 200 or 50 or what have you, right? So I found, and his rookie year is 2007. I found one of his, somebody was selling. You see the O is doubled, right? We'll look at it again. I went like this and I was like, hold on a second. That looks doubled down there. And that's from the hub. But I spoke about this before with the O's in one on the reverse. I'm not holding on to them unless they're super, super, super detailed, or I can see the doubling inside of the O, which here we cannot. I see it a little bit on the bottom, but that's from the hub. And it's not even on the other ones, so I'm not going to hold on to that. What do you think? You think this is copper or you think this is zinc? Oh man, that's tough. I don't like those lines. I'm going to go zinc. Yeah, 2003. So somebody was selling one for like, I'm telling you, I think I paid, I don't know, what did I pay, man? Oh, I could look it up. I mean, super. You could still see. They still have some that people are selling for. I don't know. You know what? Let me not misspeak. I have to look. I'm sorry that I keep doing it. I hope it doesn't bother you. It's just that someone might be interested in it, and I know I get questions, and I can answer it right off the bat. So let's put in Kevin Durant. 2007. It's the gold 1 out of 10. Okay, so that's the one I'm talking about. And let's go highest first. I'll know it as soon as I see it. So, as long as there's one up here, you know what I mean? Oh, it's not here. They're all gone. Maybe if I take out gold, let me put in what's it called? I said what did I call it? Oh no, I forgot. It'll come up. They have so many variety. Oh, artifacts. That was it. There it is. Oh, look, that's the card right there. Out of 10. It's not gold. It's blue. I'll show you. So I got the number 9, graded 9, and I don't even think it was PSA, to be honest with you. It was like one of these offshoots. Maybe that's why I got it so cheap. Here, I'll show you real quick. That's the card that I bought. It's not the exact one, obviously, but there's only 10. There's only 10. And that's the 9.5 from Beckett, and they want 3,000 for it. So I paid like, I want to say like $200 for the number out of 9, and which I was like, this, to me, that was insane. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, that's good. I had $200. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, burning a hole through my pocket. And I said, all right, I'm going to pick up. So it was out of 9, not Beckett, not PSA. And I thought that was a pretty good deal. You know what I mean? I mean, right under it is the one out of 100, the artifacts out of 100 that they want $2,500 for. And the difference between the blue out of 10 and the copper out of 100 is night and day. You can't even compare the two. So I paid like $200 or something like that, or 250 or 175. I paid cheap, man. The person sold the suit. I couldn't believe it. I was like, are you kidding me? So I bought it. I said, you know what? It's not that big of an investment. It's $200, and whatever. Now I got a super limited edition Kevin Durant. That's nice. This could be a oh yeah, almost. This is uncirculated. What a beauty! You could feel the sharp rim edge, so sharp. I'll put that to the side too. That's unbelievable. It's not proof because it's not mirror, but it's definitely brilliant. So I'm going to say it's uncirculated. And so I bought it, right, and I'm going to hold on to it. Kevin Durant, like his rookie year was 2007. I can't remember if he went to college or not. Maybe he was 19 or 20 years old when he went into the NBA. Another 2007, not as brilliant as the other one. You want to see the comparison between the two? Look at that. Look at that. Huh? Right there, they almost look the same, but here, you could tell the difference. Big difference. 2007. Let's say he's 19, and 2024. That's 17 years he's been playing. No way. 2007 to 2017 is 10. 2017 to 2024. He's been playing for 17 years. Wow. So let's say he started at 18 then. Then I could just look up his age. You know what? I don't like doing that. I don't like to say something and misspeak. I don't like that. He's 35 years old. So what was I going to say? I was going to say 35, right? 17 and 18 is 35. So he's 35 years old. I mean, do you know how long the average NBA player plays? I believe it's 5 years. Same thing with, I think a football player is also 5 years. The average, meaning the person from the bench warmer, you know what I'm saying, is 5 years, as I recall. And so 15 years, especially someone he's hurt, he's gotten hurt and everything. So what has he got? Is he going to play for another 5 years? I mean, that would be amazing if he did. I mean, a 20-year NBA career is almost unheard of. There's just a handful of people in the history of the NBA that have done it. So let's say, what is that on the bottom? You see, is that dirt? You see that right in the bottom underneath the VDB? I'm gonna look at that. It is dirt. So let's say he plays another 5 years. Right, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? They already want 3,000 for the 9.5. That, I mean, it's not, inflation doesn't go down, it goes up, right? I mean, yes, there is deflation and stagflation and all of that. That's not happening, man. I'm telling you right now, stagflation's not happening. I seriously, I mean, now, can property go down? Yeah, property can go down. Do you know why property can go down? Meaning houses. I mean, first of all, commercial real estate just went down because properties are, believe it or not, and I made money on real estate. It's another 2007. Let me see. No, not as brilliant as that one. I'm telling you, that one that we looked at was really, really like uncirculated. It's pouring outside too. It is absolutely pouring. This is another one. Look at this. 2007, 8. Oh wow, another one, and another one, and another one. Because real estate is basically a liability, right? You have to pay. They cost money, cost taxes. You can buy. Oh, it's another beauty. You can buy that if you have a lot of properties, you have to pay taxes, and taxes go up, right? Let me just look at that 2008 again. Compare. It's yeah, that one's practically uncirculated. So I'll put it with the other one, just to have something to make a video on, a short. You have to pay taxes on it. Taxes go up, right? So if you keep it and it's not income producing, and it's not like that Kevin Durant that I bought, right? That Kevin Durant I bought doesn't cost nothing to hold. I mean, I have to, have a dehumidifier and everything like that. You know what I mean? Make sure that the paper doesn't get damaged, or the slab doesn't get damaged. The slab helps keep it. The protected plastic keeps it from getting damaged. But real estate, you have to pay taxes on. You have upkeep. You have to pay insurance in case something, God forbid, happens, so you can get your money back, or some of your money back, or what have you. So if you keep it for 10 years, it might go up from, let's say you buy it for 10,000, you put 20,000 into it. I was doing the math the other day on a house. I sold a property several years ago for let's call it $15,000. If I today, oh wow, look at this. Look at this. Another 2007. No, I'm gonna get rid of that 2008 now, because that one's nicer. And today the property's worth 60,000, right? Because real estate went up, inflation, blah blah blah. So 15,000. Let's say I would have kept it, and $5,000 a year between taxes, and you got to keep the lights on. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay. Can't let the place fall into disarray. Maybe you have to fix the roof, patch the roof. And I was jumping on top of that roof to patch it all the time. Let's call it 5,000, 6,000 a year between upkeep, taxes, utilities, insurance. Forget about it. Maybe let's call it 7,000 a year. I forgot about insurance. Okay. So what I say, the house is worth 60. I sold it for 15. That's 45. And seven goes into 45. What? Let's just do 42. 7 times 7 is 49. So 6 years. 6 years. It would have 8. So it doesn't matter, right? And was that another 2007? 2008. So yeah, the person, whoever bought it for 15, they sold it. If they just held on to it, they didn't make anything, right? And they had all the liability, right? God forbid, whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's liability. Having real estate, especially ones now, real estate that you live in, that's a different story. That is where that's where all of the money comes from in real estate, in my opinion. I'm not talking about owning houses, and like if you're really but it's for the small person, right? So there are people who go and they buy a house and they fix it while they're living in it. So of course you're saving all of that money from living in it. So that's a different story. What is that? Oh, you see that? That's one of those things. I've seen that before in other. You see that with the little circles? Yeah, it's like must be something that they keep around the bank or something like that. It makes stains the coins. So that's where the money is with that. Okay, so back to the Kevin Durant. But the Kevin Durant has the cards, coins, stamps, marbles. They don't have any. You don't pay rent. You know what I mean? They're small. They're small little items. You can't eat them, right? So when things are bad, people tend to sell them, right? So I'm gonna. I don't want. I'm not. I'll keep talking. I was gonna stop to put it to my face, but I'll keep going. We're almost done. So inflation, right? What was the definition? Look what Just Found's definition is: a concocted formula to keep poor people poor and rich people rich. So when the economy is tanking and people are losing their jobs, inflation is taking all their money, rent's going up, gas is going up, utilities are going up, food is going up. What are you going to do with your stuff? You have to sell it, right? You have to sell your stuff, right? And then someone buys your stuff. Then maybe they have to sell that stuff that they bought from you to make 20% profit 6 months later or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the person who buys the stuff and keeps the stuff, right? Like the person, whoever bought that, I was clicking my heels for making $50 on the Shaquille O'Neal card in 2011, right? Now, the person who bought it for 60, if they held on to it, what's that? Oh my God. Sorry, I had some stuff here mixed up. Some pennies mixed. I just have to, okay. If they held on to it even till today, where it's $1,800, $1,500, 2,000, whatever it is, and if it's graded, if it got a high grade, oh, if that card's a 10, it's like $3,000 or $4,000. Like PSA 10, it's like $3,000 or $4,000. I'm talking raw. So raw with cards, raw means ungraded. So I'm talking raw condition, near mint or higher, $1,500. So the person who kept it raw for $60, if they had it today and it's 1,500, whatever it is, you know what I mean? And that's incredible, right? But I sold it because I needed the money. $50 to me back then was like, yo, big, big, big deal, right? But if that person who bought it for $60 kept it to today and they sold it today for 1,500, who knows? Maybe someone buys it for 1,500 today, gets it graded, and then in 10 years it's worth $4,000 or $5,000. I mean, but when people sell what they have, right? Another 2007. Yeah, this one's not as nice as the other ones. This is nice though. It's close. Just has some scratches on it. But when you can buy stuff and hold on to it and continue to amass stuff and keep it safe, obviously, that's a caveat. Keep it safe and protected, insured, what have you. And I think that is how to me that's the best hedge against inflation. That's it. Try not to sell your stuff. That's what a back. What a back. Another 2007. This person must have had, what's on it? Yeah, there's like an indentation. You see that on the shoulder? Just thought I would show it to you. I noticed it off camera. It's not a strike through, but it's something. It could be a strike through actually. It's just something, or a you can see it. It's like bowl shape on the shoulder. I'm not gonna hold on to it. It is nice. Let me see. Let me look at it with the other ones. It's a little more coppery. Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna hold on to it. All right. So thank you. That was it. Thank you. That was I finished it. It's still in under an hour, even with the extra commentary and with my hopefully again with all the stuff that I talk about. You know what I mean? Hopefully that's I get on it sometimes with things. I guess that's what the channel is. So thank you very much for coming. God bless, and I'll see you on the next one. Anybody still there? Did I put you all to sleep? Did I put everybody to sleep with that one? Yeah, I know. I get like that sometimes. Most of the time. Most of the time I get like that. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said sometimes. I know it's most of the time. So there is scripture of the New Testament, what Christ said, and then of course there's the way that we live. We have houses, we have electric, we have to give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. And I guess if I had to, I don't know, justify, and make it right, I'm going to say live right, live as Christ would have us, resist temptation, and stick it to Caesar. Stick it to Caesar. Stick it to Caesar. Yeah, of course, pay it just like he said, just like Christ said. Yes, get to Caesar, pay your taxes, do everything above board, but be smart. It's because there's so many. It's because of poverty, really, right? And it's a fear. I mean, why should it be a fear? Christ had nothing, and yet he had everything. So there's that. It's a conundrum, right? Because we have families, we have jobs, we're committed to helping others and doing for others. So we're not going to give that all up today at this moment to become evangelists, right? So live right, get to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and try to, rising tides lift all ships. Try to spread the word and love your neighbor and stick it to Caesar. Hold on to your stuff, so you don't have to sell them when things are bad, and you can hold on to them and sell them when things are better, right? So the example, and over an hour, the example that I had was this Kevin Durant that I bought like 6 months ago. Just 6 months. At the time, wasn't that long ago. You can't. The blue. Let me see. Is there another one? That I did not check. It's right here. Let me just put it's artifacts. Let me just put blue, because there's one there that was $3,000, right? There are. That's the only one. There's a 9 out of 25. What color is that? Which is a nice card. It says blue on the 25 also. It says it's a different artifact. Okay, that's not the one that I got. I got the one that I showed you. So there's another blue artifact with a different picture that the person wants $400 for right now, and it's a 9. I have the 9 out of 10. I feel comfortable saying and it's not a BGS, it's not a PSA. I'm comfortable saying it's $1,000 card right now, because of its low serial number. But like I said, I paid $200 for it 6 months ago, and maybe the person thought that Kevin Durant was gonna suck, or nobody was gonna care about him, or didn't realize inflation was gonna keep going up as much as it did. Whatever the case may be, but I'm not gonna sell it. I mean, let me rephrase that. We all have to do what we have to do. Yes, I would sell it if I had to sell it. I would sell everything if I had to sell it. You know what I mean? I would give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Gotta get Jesus in here. Yes, but hopefully I don't have to. And and we're all blessed with better lives, right? Healthier lives, eating right, having our spirit right, and um, and that's really it, right? Living simple lives. And one way we could do that is definitely by hedging against inflation. And coins is one way to do it, right? So Two Sheds Gabby collects copper. Guy's a genius, you know. He's a genius. When copper is going to be worth each copper penny is going to be worth 5 cents. Not each cent is going to be worth 5 pennies. If you watch my other videos, you know what the joke is right there, and so does Otis. Each copper penny will be worth, right now it's worth almost 3 cents, which a cent is a unit of value, right? Each copper penny, which is a penny, which says 1 cent in the back, will one day be worth 5 cents, right? Of course, it's almost worth 3 cents. One day it's gonna be worth 5 cents, which 5 cents is 1/20th of a dollar. And if you have $1,000 in face value of copper pennies, you will have $5,000, right? Because it's each penny will be worth 5 cents in this example. Then you'll have five. You'll and they have to. You can't melt pennies. I know all of that. Okay, but will you be able to melt pennies once there's no more pennies? Once they're going to get rid of the penny eventually. So let's say in 10 years they get rid of the penny, and copper is worth 5 cents per copper penny, and you have 10,000 face value of copper pennies, like Two Shed Gabby's has. Well, you'll be able to melt those and there's no more penny, right? So you could do whatever you want. There's no more such thing as a penny anymore. So you could destroy it if you can. I think you probably will be able to, because it won't be currency anymore. And you take your $10,000 face value of copper pennies that are worth 5 cents per copper penny. That's $50,000. That only cost you a cent. They only cost you a cent, because when you go to the bank and you get a roll of pennies, the copper ones are worth 3 cents. And you did that and you saved them. So that's a hedge against inflation. So he's a genius. And anyone who does it, I do that also now. I keep my copper pennies, right? These are copper pennies, and these are the AUs, which will be worth more than, because of the condition, right? Somebody might want these beautiful AU pennies one day, especially when there are no more. That's another hedge against inflation. They might be worth more than 5 cents. Maybe they'll be worth 10 cents each. And if they're worth 10 cents each, and face value, I have 10,000, that's $100,000. And what did it cost? It cost a cent to hold on to them. It doesn't cost nothing. And all the rest of them I'm bringing back. I'm bringing all the zincs back, which are worth less than a cent. The zinc, I believe the zinc penny is worth less than a cent. So they're putting a cent back into my bank account when I give them back a zinc penny that's worth less than a cent, and I keep the copper that's worth almost 3 cents per penny. So that's a hedge against inflation, similar to the Kevin Durant on a different scales. But it doesn't cost much to do that. Right? You do that over the course of 10 years, and maybe you will have, if you have all the copper right now, you have 3x the value of the copper. So I went a little bit on a rant there. But it's really basically to show you my mindset, and how that, and also my love for Christ. How they relate to each other, I don't even know, to be honest with you. I ask for guidance, and that's all we can all do, is to ask for guidance from Jesus. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you on the next one, and God bless.